Boxing King Media in association with Boxer Spencer Oliver here at the Alexandra Palace. My first time here, a bit of a cold building, middle of nowhere when it comes to London.
Listen, mate, I boxed here, second European title fight, defence against Vincenzo Belcastro, just down the road from me. I only live down the road from here, so I'm really pleased it's here, man. Brings back a lot of memories as well. I like this. This is a good venue, isn't it? I like this venue. It's there's a lot of history behind this venue, man. A lot of fighters boxed here in the past.
Yeah, they've got I understand they've got a fan zone thing set up tomorrow as well, which is quite unique and interesting. What's happening with that?
Well, they like you said, this unique. Boxer are always sort of like what's the word that I'm looking for? They've got a great vision, and they're looking to freshen things up and make things different. And I think the weigh-ins are they made the weigh-ins better and sort of like more glamorous, and the fan zone thing's a chance for fans to come in and meet some of the boxers and some of the people that used to box and now work in punditry, etc. So yeah, it's good, man. It's a great idea.
Definitely. Let's talk about the main event tomorrow first. Adam Azim in his first proper step up on paper. Ryland Charlton's thinking that he's going to make him quit.
Yeah, well, it's a big statement there from Ryland, to be fair. But listen, Ryland's proven, and Adam isn't, but we all know how good Adam is. I believe he's going to be the next superstar of British boxing. I really do. I mean, the kid sort of like seems to be improving all the time. And Ryland Charlton's one of those guys, as I said, he is proven and he's tough. We know that he will bring it and he'll look to take the fight into the second half. But that's a big ask, to be fair, because I think stylistically he's sort of like he's made for Adam Azim. Adam Azim, as we know, has got quick hands. He's heavy-handed. It's a good fight, man. It's a good fight because it's a good yardstick to tell us exactly where Adam Azim is and exactly. If he's the real deal and he's going to be as good as what we think he is, then he'll get the job done tomorrow. But like Ryland Charlton's coming here full of confidence, and he's looking for the victory himself.
And obviously, there's a lot of good domestic fights on the undercard as well. You've got Mikael Lawal. I'm really excited to see him because I feel like he's kind of an unknown fighter who's knocking everybody out, taking guys out, but he hasn't really got the limelight that he probably should be getting.
No, but he's sort of like, he's not really been as active as he should be, really. David Jameson's a guy, they've boxed before actually, they've got history, they've boxed in the Boxer tournament. That's the only one that Jameson lost to is Mikael Lawal, but that was over the 3-round format. He's looking to gain revenge against Mikael, but I think Mikael's he's decent, mate, really good. He's improving all the time, very heavy-handed. I'm looking forward to that fight, actually. There's a lot of good fights on this bill, a lot of 50-50 fights. Like I say, the Adam Azim fight and Ryland Charlton, you got a kid that looks like he's going to be the next superstar coming up against a guy that he's proven it's going to be a great fight. Mikael Lawal on the undercard is another great fight. And the other one as well, Zach Telly as well. I'm really looking forward to that one, because it's Lerone Richards is one of those guys that is super talented, but a little bit inactive, can be lazy at times, but he's an incredibly good boxer. And Zach Telly is one of them kids that loves to take an opportunity when it's delivered to him. And I think that's a great fight, that is. Styles make fights, and that's another great fight. Decent undercard, man. What more do you want to be doing on your Sunday afternoon? I wouldn't mind coming and watch these fights myself as a fan, because it's a great show.
It definitely is. Moving on, talking about a few other topics. Eubank Jr., Liam Smith, everyone was talking about it for the last few weeks. It's been signed, sealed and delivered by Ben Shalom. Another pay-per-view for Sky. First of all, the first question, it's the biggest debate at the moment. Is it pay-per-view? Should it be pay-per-view?
Listen, it's a great fight, and I think that's just the world that we live in now. The fighters have to get paid, and it's a way of doing it. It's pay-per-view, and look, tickets are going fast, man. Tickets are going fast, hot and fast. You can go to boxer.com to sign up, register and get a ticket. There is still very few tickets available, I think, but that's where you want to go if you want to go and see that fight up in Manchester, January 21st, because, mate, that is going to be an unbelievable fight. Both guys are at the stage of their careers where they're in must-win situations. A loss really does or could spell the end for these guys, and people go, well, you can't just say a loss will spell the end. I go, where they're at in their careers, I think a loss is going to be so damaging that I don't know if they will have the motivation to be able to try and rebuild again. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like last chance saloon really for both of them, because the winner will go on and he can box for a world title, and the loser has to pick up the pieces, and that's a tough thing to do, mate. It really is at that stage of their careers. Great fight, man. I'm looking forward to that.
I asked Ben earlier for the pay-per-view number, and he's told me it's 1995. Is that a fair price?
Yeah, I think so. That's a good price, man. You can't complain at that. 20 quid, like I say, they'll have a great undercard on there as well. Not announced the undercard yet, but you know, it will be a solid undercard. So, but look, that fight, man, makes sense. It really does.
Do you think it's pay-per-view because of the fallout from the Conor Benn fight? Is that because obviously Chris Eubank Jr. Would that be disrespectful to Liam Smith? On a fan's point of view, Chris is the one that's kind of carrying his name to make it pay-per-view. Would I be right in saying that?
No, I just think the fight does. I think that Liam Smith is proven, man. He's a warrior, and you know what you're going to get with him. And he still looks good, man. Still looks very, very good. And it's one of those fights where you go, I mean, who wins that fight? I can't honestly, and it's like, you know, I don't like to sit on the fence too much, but right now, I don't really know who wins that fight. It's one of those fights that could have a number of outcomes. Do you know what I mean? So
I tell you what's interesting, the fans are picking Eubank, but the experts like yourselves, a lot of people. I spoke to Dominic Ingle, Kell Brook yesterday. They both picked Liam Smith.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's one of those ones. You know, it's one of those ones, mate. It really is. It's a tough one to call. I'm not really going to pick a winner off that one yet because I just want to see them in the build-up and I want to watch some training and see where they're at before I can decide where I'm going to go with that one. But as we speak right now, don't know. And I think that when you get fights like that, it makes it worthy of pay-per-view because one thing you can guarantee is it ain't going to be boring. That is for sure. Stylistically, you know it ain't going to be boring.
The ticket situation, I think it's like a first come first serve thing.
Yeah, so listen, look, I'd said it before, go to boxer.com, you've got to register to get your tickets. That's basically what you got to do. Get onto boxer.com, register, get your tickets because they will be gone very, very fast, man. So it has to be done.
Last thing I want to speak to you about, Spence, is this situation with Lawrence Okolie. It seems like a really strange situation where Lawrence is convinced and is telling everyone that he hasn't got a fight left on his contract. Eddie's saying you have. Ben seems to think he hasn't either. So it's a really weird situation where. But Eddie did say yesterday if Ben Shalom believes that he hasn't got a fight left on his deal, then go and sign him.
Yeah, exactly. It's very complicated, mate, and I don't know the ins and outs of it, if I'm honest. You're hearing all sorts of rumours. There is a fight, there isn't a fight left on the contract, and it's keeping Lawrence out at a time when he should be capitalising on, you know, his success in the ring. Unfortunately, you know, things outside of the ring are preventing him from continuing his career at the moment, and it's a shame, man. It really is. I like Lawrence, I like him as a person, I also like him as a fighter. I think he's sort of like, you know, over the last couple of years especially, he's developed, he's found his rhythm, you know, and he would have been a tough guy to beat at cruiserweight and possibly moved on to heavyweight. But now it's all on hold at the moment. Yeah, can't really comment too much more on that because I don't know the ins and outs of the contracts and whether there is or isn't a fight left. So, you know, it is what it is, but hopefully he gets it all sorted soon.
In fact, one thing I've remembered, because I know you're big on the whole PED thing, Zolani Tete recently tested positive. From what I know, from speaking to people now, it sounds like it was a post-fight test that he failed, but it's 4 months down the line, and apparently the South African Boxing Association are the only ones that can punish him. This is what I'm getting from speaking to Steffi Bull. What do you make of the whole situation?
Yeah, it's a shame, man. It's disgusting. You know how I feel about PEDs and boxers taking them. You know, I don't agree with it at all. I think it's wrong, and I think that fighters should be punished. You know, I think life bans should be thrown in for that because, you know, let's make it a fair playing field, man. Like when one guy's taking a performance-enhancing drug to beat another guy and everything else, you potentially put lives at risk. We're in a sport, it's the hurt business, it's a blood sport, and injuries happen. Boxers taking PEDs creates even more of a problem, you know, and we want to clean this sport up as much as we can. So yeah, I'm against PEDs big time, man, and about the punishments. You know, people talking about punishments and whether they should get 1 year bans, 2 year bans. Throw the book at them, man, because I don't like it.
What about the fact that Steffi Bull, obviously, he's fighting Jason Cunningham? Because Steffi raised a really good point, because Jason was on a contract where he was going to get paid more in the next fight. He had all them belts, all them world rankings. Even if that fight is made a no contest, he doesn't get any of that back. No. And then on top of that, Steffi found out about the test through being tagged in a tweet. Something surely needs to be overruled here.
Fucking disgusting. That's what I'm saying. So the kid that loses against the cheat gets his career is in tatters, he loses his rankings, he loses his belts, everything else. The other guy gets found out that he's been cheating, so even if the fight gets turned over as a no contest, he doesn't get all his rankings and his belts and everything else, but it's bullshit. You know what I mean? This is what needs to change.
On that note, Spence, I really appreciate your time as always. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Cheers, bro. Looking forward to it.